Thank you. Oh, okay, you can hear me. It's like the screen sharing test. Can you see my screen? Hey, together. Thank you for joining our talk. It's going about making GenAI CLI agents works for you DevOps day-to-day operation. Sounds really complex, but it's very easy. And we are going, but first to my person, who am I? I'm Artem, a platform engineer working for IITS, certified kubestronaut, ambassador for platform engineering, and published book author of implementing GitOps with Kubernetes. And I'm working for IITS. We are starting 2019 as a software development company. Then we adopted platform engineering, cloud ops, and we are doing the real AI engineering stuff. So we have engineers with PhDs, now about 6 or 7, and they're doing AI longer than the companies exist. And yeah, now we are about 160 employees, and last year we have about 3,000 applications, and just one person was hired. So too much. Now we are getting through the target or to our agenda. As you can see, we are going to find first some terms, then why we are using private LLM, then what we define by smart command line interface, showing you some real use cases. We try to create proof of value, not proof of concepts, and then we are using for code gen, investigate, and self-healing infrastructure, and share also our learnings with you. And let's start. Some terms to the beginning. I think the most of you are tired of the blockchain engineer, metaverse engineer are now changing 2 years ago and are now AI engineers. And hopefully, if not, I mean, you are here, so you are not tired of the topic. Thanks for that. And this is also was our motivation to show how you can really use GenAI and another stuff in your daily work, not just the fancy stuff. And GenAI are not just only chatbots. We also created, for example, Tender for our customer. We are working for the Open Telecom Cloud and the systems. And if they need a tender, a customer uploads the documents, you don't need to have an interaction with a chatbot, you will getting all the stuff you needed based on that, building a contract, so not just chatbots. If we are speaking about agents, we are not speaking about the MCP and also another stuff, we are speaking the light way, an agent getting instruction, getting access to your tools, and you can give him some advices based on GPT script, I'm going to show you. And why we're using private LLM, or what is private LLM, is just LLM models based with enhanced with, for example, we are using it with RAG, or we are using it with our documents collection and put in it. This is how we defined private LLM. And then we have retrieval augmented generation called RAG. Short term is just put to your model some data and gives them some intelligence. Okay. Then we have smart CLI. Yeah, then we're getting the smart CLI term. And also AI engineers for us are not prompt engineers, blockchain engineers, they're really the Python data science engineers, that's how we understand them, or platform engineers that are using AI on the daily basis. So yeah, let's go into the smart CLI definition. Our definition is assist you in filtering out key information and enhancing it with AI for your DevOps related task or platform engineering, however you want to call it today. And which tools do we use for our daily work? We're using Holmes GPT. It's an AI assistant that investigates incidents like humans does. You're getting better results with Holmes GPT, but it's harder as the entry point is much harder, because if you need to customize it for yourself, you need to know Python. Because of that, we're also using GPT script. It's an agent-based approach. You can define by human language what do you want. The entry is very easy. But if you have different agents combined with each other, it's a little bit complex and the hallucination is very high. And here you can see what I mean by easy entry. This is a snippet from a CLI agent. For GPT script, you can just say use, for example, I allow you to use tools on my device or on my Kubernetes cluster. You can put in description, you can pass through some args, you can disable or enable chat, then it's going to be ping pong until you say I'm done. And then you need a prompt or instruction to say hey, you are, I don't know, you have just 3 tries to making things work, or you are a DevOps agent, or you are alert agent, and giving them some instructions how you're doing if you are prompting. Yes. Private chatbot, we mean by private chatbot, for example, we add domain knowledge, or why we're using private chatbot. that is ChatGPT not unaware of it. Also confidential docs, we have a lot of customer critical infrastructure provider, high regulated, you can't just put documentation to ChatGPT. And another one, so we try to combine both worlds and also using private models, enrich them with RAG or using RAG for that. You get faster access to confidential information. And to give you an example, for example, how we build it, or that you can get just a little bit more clearance. We are using, for example, our solution, HomePort AI, and we combine it with LLMs. We are using public LLMs if the user need it, so they can use OpenAI, Gemini, all the stuff. We just forwarded the token and count for them and have some middleware on top. And then we have hybrid LLMs because we are working with the systems. They provided a LLM hub. We have customers that are using, for example, voice over IP or text to voice and another stuff based on all the things. And if you need specific models, we integrated them. And then we have, of course, our private LLM hubs where we just load models like Llama, Gwen, Mistral, and combine them with RAG. And we combine it with RAG. This is the upper side. We're using Airbyte. Airbyte provides you about 550 connectors right now, so you can put Jira tasks, Kubernetes logs, everything you need, and enrich or combine it with your LLMs on top. Of course, they must be compatible to RAG, and our middleware just not only creating all the stuff, it's also seeing or improve, validate your prompts. So you just need and load the data they are needed at the time. And we built it multi-tenancy from the UI. We created workspaces, and the workspaces you can upload your collection, and over the collection you can also then chat with your specific data, and it's isolated. So FinOps or HR don't getting access to the sysadmins, as a sysadmin can't access the data. So we try to establish the multi-tenancy from the UI based to Kubernetes and also to the vector databases. It was a hard path, but I'm not speaking about today our solution. It's just that you're getting the view and see what we are using RAG token and how we extract it and how we combine it to use it with our solution or for our daily task. And it's gonna be the magic coin. We are using it for investigate, for code generation with continue dev. Of course, we are aware of v0, bold, new, cursor, but how I say it, we try to create proof of value and not just showing you some use cases. And also we're using it for self-healing infrastructure with GPT script and pipelines, MCP, are gonna be at the moment under research and development we experience. So I can't share much on that. I can just share the ideas. And these are again other use cases. I will provide everything you see in the next slides or in the demos. You can download it, you can go through it, you can also see the videos, so you don't need to take photos. Also, I provide a slide at the end with all QR codes you can going through. These are the use cases we are using it, and let's take a look. GenCode is going to be the first use case. We are using continue dev with IntelliJ or VS Code and extracting RAG token for that. Why we are doing it? For example, if you are trying to bootstrap, if you are a junior developer or platform engineer and try to bootstrap a new cloud container engine with all the stuff you needed, it's a managed Kubernetes solution from OTC, and you ask ChatGPT or another solution how I bootstrap it with the Terraform models they provided, you are getting a very deprecated solution, also with internet search and all this stuff. And if our junior developer started with that, they show us the solution and they say that doesn't work, and we ask them, this version looks very old. They say, no, it's a new one. We asked ChatGPT and also provided it with deep search. And then we say, yeah, but it's not the real one. Go to the docu, search for it. I don't know why it's happening, because ChatGPT have access to the documentation, but it's still creating not also they have missing values inside. And if you, for example, combine Llama an older model and give them some reg or combine it with the documentation over the air byte, we sync it every 30 seconds, scraps the documentation, no magic. It's also just not provide you the right values and set it for you in you. This is a view from IntelliJ Insights. You can say, generate my code, I need to bootstrap this cluster, and it's gonna bootstrap it for you. It also gives you advices. So you, for example, you need to keep in mind that the folder that you have to enable this one or this one, because then it's going to be work. And it's helped a lot. This is how we are using for the generation part. Now it's generated. If you try to apply it, okay, let's say we have created our infrastructure, provision it, and the next step will going to be something like, okay, now the cluster is running, how we debug it, or if something is happening or something is not happening, how I can ask my cluster if it's healthy or not. For this part, we are using our developer, or we are using GPT script and Holmes GPT. Most time, Holmes GPT for investigate. They are also they are robuster. Is the maker behind it. If you want to ask him more or see more use cases, just visit them. You can see the stand number here. And we are using for GPT script and Holmes GPT, OpenAI or HomePod AI as a backend. Very easy. Let's take a look how it's going to be look like on the CLI. For example, we are going to deploy just some broken stuff, and we are, as you can see in the human language, ask once with Holmes and say, does my cluster have some issues? And we also say fix it. It's just to show you that Holmes GPT don't fix it. And also we repeat the question with GPT script based on the CLI. Here you can see hopefully a little demo. It's gonna be, now we are going apply some broken stuff, some image errors, some really stuff you can find it very fast, but it's just for the demo purpose. It's also, then we say, for example here, Holmes ask, does my cluster have some issues? They built it very well, so they try, I think it's not seeing a come on. And then you can see, it shows you, for example, you have an invalid image tag, the repository doesn't exist. This is a really simple example, but it also works with complicated. For example, if you're not a database expert, and I waste a lot of time to seeing if PG Postgres database change, I waste a lot of time to finding this UUID flag, I need to say it in a new version, and if you combine it with that, it's found in 3 minutes, and I needed 4 hours. Maybe I'm not a PG expert, but I think a lot of people also, if a junior started, takes a look. This is how we are using it for the smart CLI. Also with a little bit fix. And in the next part, the GPT script also fix it. It's not just investigate, it's also searching for a solution and fix it, paged it, and if it's done, you can see the token window increase. This is also a reason we're using private LLM, because if the bill going high and the developer making, and now as you can see, everything is fixed. If you say pods is running. This is from the CLI perspective, but we are engineers, so of course, let's do it as a Kubernetes native way. This is a little bit more complex infrastructure, but still simple. Here we define, for example, multiple agents. The request handler, this is just an agent. We give them some instruction, for example, like you are working with human. You say, if I have a FinOps question, go to the another agent. For example, if I have a Kubernetes action, so they just forwarded the request to the right agents. Then we have a Kubernetes agent that have more instruction how to debug and which tools to use. And of course, we are getting here an issue for deployment. And we have a shared context. You can define a general context for all your agents to tell them, for example, don't waste too much tokens, or just, I don't know, your output should be 500 chars long. So, because if you, for example, have chat enabled or another stuff, yeah, it's your bill increase, trust me, it's growing very fast. And also we are using then, we deploy it as a job for the example, and it's have GPT interaction, or GPT script interaction with our own backend and with reg. And yeah, it's gonna be scrap website and docs and everything like this, deployed on Kubernetes. And like I said, we are creating here an Ingress issue, which is not an issue from point of Kubernetes. Everything working well, but our compliance say you need to use a specific Ingress class to get the IP address and all the other stuff. So if you're asking GPT script, or if you're asking Holmes, is my cluster something wrong with my cluster? you will see, no, because point of Kubernetes, it's not wrong, but in point of company, it's wrong, and we are going to see here again a small demo. We are going applying, for example, a job with GPT script inside, like in the architecture, and then we are going to check the logs and seeing if they fix it without the reg token, and then we apply the similar job, but we just change the token and see how it's changed. So for example, as you can see here, we are going first apply the normal deployment. Oh, come on, it's going to be job created. The token is lying in the secrets. It's like I said, I share everything, then we can see the logs. And as you can see, everything is fine. Healthy, nodes are running, pods are running, everything is fine. Okay, now we are getting, and let's see if the ingress is coming up. You can see no address, because our compliance policy say you need a specific ingress class to do it. And then we deploy now the same, everything is the same. We're just changing the token and see what's happening now. You can see the model is working, or it's going playing with the backend a little bit. Oh, I'm in time. And then you can also see that they started to fix it. They found the issue, and then they started to patch it. They also refactor it. They configure it. And then also now you can see it shows you now it's compliance with your company policies and all the other stuff, and I patched it for you. It works for you. Now it's very dangerous to do things like this. I mean, come on. Giving GenAI with non-predictable access to your cluster, to your backend, and all the stuff, it's a little bit crazy. And what we are doing the next, we are engineers, so we like to over-engineer all the stuff, and we say, hey, let's put GitOps on it, and let's put another stuff on it. Here you can see also an abstracted architecture, but the main points are, now we have a DevOps bot with more instruction, and we have multiple comments lines. So we give them an instruction, curl first this one, like a senior will do, this one. So we're giving in order how to work out, and then we also enable him to looking into the alerts from Prometheus and also collect the alerts, and then we say, okay, if you now find an issue, what you're gonna do the next? We don't want to fix it in the cluster. We say we're giving him access to a GitHub repository where all the code is lying, and then check it if you find a solution. Also create a pull request. We approve it, and Argo City gonna deploy it. In the most cases, this case is going, I don't know, failed about 30%. So because you can execute it 20 times, and yeah, it's GenAI.
Manual approve it.
Yeah, manual approve it. Yeah, manual approve it on the dev. You can auto approve it. But we also said not just only create a pull request, also send a notification to Slack and say the user, something is wrong, I create a pull request for you, so they are aware of it. This is how it's gonna be looks like. Here's the whole video, how we set it up, how we configure it, and all the stuff. Like I said, at the end you're also getting provided it, but here's just the short outcard, how it looks like. You're getting in Slack a message, it's told you we have a problem with our load balancer. For example, if you're using OTC, and you want to expose a service, I don't know why they built it, but it's built because I think it's an open stack under the hood, and you need to set a specific ID to getting an IP address. And so you need access to the doc, so you need to understand it, and the agent understands it, and also, as you can see, it's a div in IntelliJ. First, you don't have set the load balancer ID, and then you set it and get the IP address. You get also the instruction how to do it, or it helps you if you don't know where to start. And this is the most use cases. We are also responsible for the customer success support for OTC, and I think about the last 2 years, 90% of the requests asking how we can set this. We say, search in the docu, we had documented it 3 times, and again, and I mean, last year before we holding a presentation like this one, we getting this request, and we also show them, because one day we getting approved and show, they say, and you have a lot of requests like this, and as you can see, it helps you a lot if you're doing it the right way. Yeah, speaking about value, for example, we see a lot of value, for example, if you are a junior dev and you combine it with Holmes GPT. You're getting a value based on, for example, I'm junior dev, I'm stacking. So what I'm doing, I'm asking a senior dev or a senior platform engineer, but in the most cases, they need to wait for my time, maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, if they are happy, if I can jump on a call with them. So what they're getting frustrated, they are waiting, they try to Google it, they try to use ChatGPT, but they fail because they don't know how to ask. I mean, you can't just say, hey, ChatGPT, solve this for me. You also need some instruction or also some content. And we find out if you combine, for example, Holmes GPT and also with a junior dev, it also helps you a lot. Not just only the junior dev gets happy, they're also learning from the agents you are using, how to debug, how to troubleshoot. Because of course, for us it's very easy to say, okay, I have a problem, kubectl, get events, describe deployment, stateful set, jump into the logs, metrics, profiling, tracing, all the stuff. Yeah, but if you are junior, where to start? So it helps a lot. It's really generating value for us. As you can see, we can recommend this solution. It's very easy. It's broken nothing because Holmes GPT just investigate. And also speaking about the value in the roadmap here, we can say code generation works very well, especially if we are using it for policies. If you have a lot of policies for different customer, you can say generate for me, for example, a policy for this part, and you're getting 95% working solution. You need to optimize on some cases, but it's save you a lot of time. And also like for bootstrapping, if you have a new colleague onboarding, you don't need to say, okay, let's jump on a call, I'm going the onboarding with you, go to the docu or use continue dev and ask how I can bootstrap the cluster and go it through. It also helps a lot. Investigate, like I say, we see also a lot of value to provided you detailed instruction, how you to troubleshoot, and you can use it for every use case. We use it for the most, of course, if something breaks. Self-healing, it's gonna be okay. It's from the engineering point of view really interesting, but you need to use it, for example, with GitOps and pull requests. Don't auto-approve it and don't give too much access to the agents running on the Kubernetes cluster and fix everything they found it, because sometimes they fix things you don't wanna that are gonna be fixed. And yeah, and pipeline and all MCP stuff and other stuff coming on the market now. We are at the research and development, and it's like, yeah, it's nice, but the most customer of us are struggling at the point with how they put their documentation on it, because a lot of customer have huge documentation over the 10 or 15 years, and they need to integrate it in a solution like private LLMs, so they also can getting a not sovereign solution, I don't like the word, but something they can rely on it, and they can also do all the checks if you are running for the Cloud Act, for the C5 to start. If you are working with German customers or European customers, you know the pain maybe. Yeah, it's very easy if you say it. It's the most things are self-hosted. So key takeaways, if you have too many agents, they are going, it's like you're giving them magic mushrooms and they get to hallucinate you. Remind me on a story if I said I was in Venice and I saw a suit for a wedding, and 2 weeks later a lot of colleagues ask me, marriage, why we are not invited? I say, okay. So similar happening here, the output is horrible. And the agents are only as good as the people who build them. Like I say, senior developers create senior level agents. So if you're junior, try to create an agent, it's also escalate. You need people that have suffer all the stuff or going the hard way, building them, and then the junior developer can getting some values from that. And also, for example, we see if you have more restriction, like I show you in the more complex use case with the multiple comments, it leads to better results for specific use cases. But if you want to explore, like you're doing a brainstorming session, so fewer restriction helps you to explore, to see what is possible, to doing some kind of chaos engineering and not to do chaos engineering, not on purpose. Yeah, this also allows you for broader solution effectiveness. And the last point, or not the last point, is going to be never trust AI. Sometimes we expect it. AI say, I fix it for you. We are taking a look on it, and then it's told us, yeah, I fix it. And you say, no, you don't fix it. I say, oh, I forgot it. I'm going to fix it now. Again, the agent is running, say, I fix it. You also take a look. and you say you don't fix it, and they say something like, "Oh, sorry, bro, now you have to fix it," and you say, "Okay, thanks. Why I'm using you?" So never trust the AI. Really, it's something like, and I don't know what's happening, but OpenAI putting some slang in ChatGPT and all this stuff. You're getting some solution like I say, so something. So sorry, bro. And you say, "Wow, what's happening? I don't enable the memory feature." So yeah, and you can take a photo of that. It's gonna be some stuff, some references, also all the demos, 5 minutes. And GPT script also how we build different agents for different use cases, which works well, which not, because I just have 30 minutes, 25 I think, and 5 minutes for Q&A, and also Homes GPT, GPT script, a lot of videos. Last slide, I'm gonna giving a book signing on Wednesday and Thursday. I understand a little bit of AI engineering and all this stuff, but it's not my area, to be honest. I'm not an expert in AI engineering, I'm just using it. I'm in the GitOps area and platform engineering, IDP, all the stuff. So if you want to grab a signed copy, visit us at the Loft Labs stand on these 2 days. And if you have some question, also follow me on LinkedIn or just drop me a DM or connect. And if you have platform engineering related topics, I'm also ambassador. We have a huge community. I think now about 25K people are joining us. They discuss a lot of what's going on in the platform engineering area. Also join us. Yeah, and if you have some question, answer, I hope. It was a lot, I know, but I try to compress it and give you things that works out for us, not works out, not this GenAI hype, VC founding stuff to get some money, just real experience. So thank you.
So you still have, I would say, like 4 minutes for a Q&A.
First of all, thank you for the great talk. Do I understand correctly that this is something that you built for your customers and for you to use? So it's not a product that you're selling, or?
The HomePod AI is a solution. You can join it. It's for free. But the agents we are building, they are for our developers and for the customer. And we building some catalogs, but they are only internally used. Maybe we are gonna expose them in the future or making public, because we try to share everything, and the people who knows me and follow me on Medium, and then we share everything. So maybe we're gonna share.
Okay, and second question, how much of that is like open source tools pumped together, and how much is it custom software that you developed?
The most tools, I think 95% are based on open source tools, and the middleware, the logic behind it, it's gonna be written by our developers. I think maybe 10, 15% and all the stuff. So yeah, based on open source.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? Okay, then I would say I'll let you free to go for the lunch break. Thank you so much, Artem, for your talk. And yeah, so see you in 2 hours for the next talks here.